Thank you, Kimberly, for joining us. Again, just to start off the video, can you please introduce yourself, your role, and the institution you're joining us from today?
Certainly. My name is Kimberly Miller. I'm the Director of Institutional Effectiveness at the University of North Carolina, Wilmington. My unit manages course evaluations and survey design for the full university. Right now we're in the midst of transitioning to Blue, and we did a fall pilot fall 2024.
Awesome. And maybe just give us a little bit of your background, how it came to working into institutional research or higher education in general.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. My background is in institutional research, academic assessment, administrative unit assessment, planning, strategic planning. I have done a little bit of everything for 20 plus years. I started out in community colleges and then moved to universities up in Maryland. And I've been able to really delve into course evaluations with my position here at the university.
Awesome. And like you said, you're just kind of implementing Blue now, but take a step back. Can you speak to a little bit about what made you look for a new course evaluation software or survey software?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the disruptor for us was COVID and the lack of flexibility with the current tool that we were using. We obviously, COVID forced our courses from face-to-face to online. And when I came into the position at the university, they had been using this evaluation instrument, which was made by the vendor, and we were not allowed to alter it or add new questions to it. Also, with regard to the administration of the instrument, there was some flexibility that faculty wanted built in that we couldn't build in with that instrument. And we tried really working with the vendor, and then we decided after an evaluation of our current solution to go out and do a formal request for proposal. And then we accepted a few different vendors as part of that process. We created a very objective rubric to evaluate the solutions, and Blue ended up coming on top.
Awesome. Mm-hmm. And so you kind of mentioned, I guess, some of those drivers were more customization in your questionnaire and survey instrument. And let's say when you did kind of short list the vendors that you were looking at, was there anything in particular about Explorance or Blue that really stood out?
Yes, actually, what really stood out about Blue as a solution for a university was that faculty really appreciated the research that Blue did with survey instrument bias, and really the flexibility that the technology offered in the creation of evaluations, and then the work of the University of Toronto with the question bank. These were all important drivers for why we selected Blue.
Yeah, that makes sense. So you mentioned some of the drivers that you were looking for when you were looking for a new course evaluation provider. And maybe you can just kind of describe a bit about your fall pilot that you ran in 2024, and as well as how you plan to implement Blue when your implementation is complete.
Yes, so we did, as part of our design and build, we did a fall pilot with about 23 faculty and just over 700 students. And we just went for full professor because their scores are part of the reappointment, tenure, and promotion process, and we wanted just to make this pilot exempt from that process. So actually the Faculty Senate created a brand new evaluation. So we created a new evaluation. We had previously had over 40 questions as part of our evaluation. It was called a diagnostic, and our big concern was survey fatigue with students completing and getting good, meaningful information from the evaluation instrument. So faculty came together to create this instrument, and we ran the fall pilot, and we had a fairly reasonable response rate, just over 40%. And we also, as part of the pilot, we asked students to give us feedback on the evaluation instrument, and then separately we asked instructors to give us feedback on the evaluation process. And most faculty were pleased with how Blue operated. One piece of it was the new data integrity gateway process, where they actually verified their data before we actually administered the instrument. And that was really helpful to us in implementing the tool, because we were working with the IT department, getting our data into the system, and finding out that their querying techniques needed some improvement. So that was actually exceptional in getting a good, meaningful data set for that fall pilot and doing any corrections before the full administration. So in spring, we did internal testing, and then we're actually in the process right now. Before I came here, we rolled out training to faculty who are participating in Summer 1 administration, and we're rolling it out to the full university now. So that will be going out to courses June 18th, and we've been slowly, so faculty have a chance to verify their data, then add any customizable questions, and then review the evaluation before we actually administer it to students. Our goal is to fully roll it out to all university. We have a core evaluation, but we do work closely. I'm in the IE office, and we work closely with the Faculty Senate Evaluation Committee to make any changes to the evaluation or any policy changes in how we administer it, as well as the reporting aspect. So there's a lot of ideas faculty have given us as far as how we can gather more information, either at the academic program level for accreditation reporting, or by modality, online versus face-to-face, specific questions that deal with that.
Okay, very cool. You mentioned response rates there. How are you administering the instrument? Like, what would you say is kind of a key channel for you guys, for students to respond to the surveys?
So a key communication channel for which we communicate the evaluation to students is still through email.
Okay.
We were trying to roll it out through our learning management system, Canvas, for the pilot, but we weren't able to make those changes or communicate with faculty about setting up links in their courses, their online courses. We are going to fully implement that piece, and we're starting to roll that out to faculty in our training to allow them to work on their announcements within Canvas and create those links to the student portal and also the instructor portal through the courses in the LMS.
Awesome. And I know obviously we haven't fully implemented it yet, and also from the pilot, maybe could you speak to some kind of key successes that you've seen already, and maybe some key differences from the previous process?
Yeah, I think a key success is that data integrity gateway, where faculty or faculty representatives are able to verify their data, especially as we're building out, or if there's any changes in the data with our student information system. That can be a key place where implementation runs into problems, a successful implementation. Even with how faculty put their courses or think about their courses in the system and register students for them. We have course coding that indicates internships, practicums, clinicals, and sometimes we exclude those courses because the evaluation questions aren't pertinent to that. But the fact that they're reviewing that gives them feedback that yes, this course should get the evaluation or this course should not get the evaluation. And just that verification step makes the administration more meaningful, because we're really sending it out to the folks that we need to get that feedback from. So
cool.
Another key success, I would say, is the questions were restructured and to get more meaningful feedback from the students, and it was streamlined, we probably removed 22 questions. Wow. So it made the survey shorter, and the students were pleased.
Nice.
Yeah.
And when you were kind of constructing the new instrument, and because you kind of mentioned in the beginning with the item bank from the University of Toronto, was it kind of, I guess, a multitude of factors between the faculty senate creating questions? Were you also using questions from the item bank? What was that kind of process like?
So Explorance was great, and working with officials and signing agreements where we could actually preview the questions from the University of Toronto and the question bank. But our faculty were very concerned about any copyright, so they used those as a guide. And but they had a completely different set of questions.
Okay.
So I think the research that University of Toronto did, and just by sharing and seeing the question bank, really helped inform our faculty as to some, as we're reducing the questions asked, what are the most meaningful questions that we should focus in on. So that information and research from the University of Toronto was very helpful to our evaluation committee.
Yeah, it's good to hear. And kind of looking into the future, obviously, maybe the shorter term is actually rolling out Blue institution-wide, but longer term, do you see, or maybe you can look at it like a wish list, or what's kind of next with Blue or with Explorance, or just kind of your feedback process in general at the institution?
I have a very long wish list now with Blue and Explorance, some of the new solutions coming out. This conference has been very meaningful because it's given me a chance to reflect on what other universities do and what we could do differently. Already, and one of the drivers we went with Blue was the fact of the flexibility of the instrument, the triggers, the branching questions, and we're already starting to move demographics into our system where we can maybe possibly use some branching mechanisms to ask specific questions for students by the class they're in, such as senior or freshman. They may be exiting out, or by the specific program they're in, or even drilling down to those key assessments that they're taking or key activities that are beneficial. So already we are excited we've developed the core set of questions and really starting to do more research on the evaluation instrument itself and trying to get more specific, meaningful, pointed feedback from our students and kind of phasing out and expanding that survey.
Cool. That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Just have one last question, and you kind of touched on it a little bit about coming to Explorance World. What are you really looking to get out of Explorance World and the conference this year?
So I signed up for the expert camp at Explorance, and that was amazing. It was a wonderful experience where I actually could get into Blue and really fully apply the information I learned through the camp. And that experience has really helped me a great deal. And then the sessions that I've been able to attend and the focus on AI and Millie with qualitative data analysis has given me all sorts of ideas. So it's been very beneficial attending Explorance World. So,
amazing.
Thank you.
Well, thank you so much again for taking the time. We appreciate it a lot. So thank you.
Thank you.